Karen Greenberg with us now, Director of the Centre on National Security at the Fordham University School of Law, joining us from New York today. Karen, thanks for your time. 21 years, I think it is, by my count, since we've last seen impeachment hearings in the United States. How important is it that, well, the rest of the world, but particularly the United States, can sit and watch this now? And what did you make as you watched it today?
Well, first of all, it's very important. It's important that we got to this moment. And the reasons are not just partisan divide. The reasons aren't even just the allegations and making sure they come to the public, but the sidestepping of process and the rule of law is very much what's at issue here. And so for the Congress to go forward and to try to do this procedurally, by the book, as they say, is very important, because what needs to be done, in addition to everything else, ascertaining the facts, figuring out what went wrong and who did what went wrong, is to reestablish some kind of trust in the system as an ability to put checks on the president, to present facts to the public, and to have some kind of coherent narrative comes out of this that's seen in the light of day by the American public.
I found the whole thing quite fascinating to watch, just the almost theatrics of it, Karen, because all the questions that came, regardless of what side they came from, they were loaded. They were coming from an angle. You could see that all the time. They were combative at times. And the two men giving evidence were at pains to point out, look, we're just here to say what we know. We're not coming at this from any particular angle.
Right. They were very much staking out the ground of the word that's usually used to describe this is nonpartisan, the nonpartisan government official who is there as a career diplomat in this case, who in both these cases, who is trying to say, look, there is such a thing as a profession, and there are certain rules and regulations and codes that we go by when we perform the profession of statecraft and diplomacy. And both Kent and Taylor were trying to make this argument in their extremely sober, extremely dry way, while invectives were flying over their head from their questioners.
What do you think was the most important, well, your opinion on the most important thing that was said today, or maybe most crucial thing we learned today?
You know, I think the most crucial thing we learned, we already knew, which was that there was there was two things. There were many more exchanges about an investigation going on than we've learned about in the past. We've heard hints of it. We've seen it in the earlier transcripts, but here it was in the light of day. I think also the chronology was very important, the way it was laid out today, particularly the end of the chronology, which was that the weapons, the $400 million were given, but they were given after the investigation was launched. And I think although we had known this, to actually see it and hear it was very important. I also think that, you know, you referred to the tenor in the courtroom, the contentiousness. I think that Adam Schiff was trying very hard to be cool-headed, to talk about Russia and Ukraine in particular, and not to be talking about Republicans per se. And he may not have succeeded entirely, but I think that was very much his intention, to try to say, look, this is about democracy at home in the way we process things, and actually it's about a democracy abroad as well. And I think that message may have come through.
Karen Greenberg, a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.